Take a look at these state-of-the-art military bases emerging across the Arctic. Massive complexes equipped with advanced air defense systems, radar installations, airstrips capable of handling the largest military aircraft, and outposts specially designed to withstand some of the harshest conditions on Earth. These bases are home to cutting-edge technology, including sophisticated early warning radar networks, anti-aircraft missile systems, and even facilities built to support the deployment of nuclear-capable submarines.
In addition to all this, a new generation of hypersonic missiles is being prepared for deployment missiles, capable of traveling at 9 times the speed of sound, making them nearly impossible to intercept. The bases are also surrounded by modernized air and naval infrastructure, providing a network of icebreaker fleets that can clear a path through the Arctic's frozen waters, ensuring a steady supply route for military operations. And who's behind this ambitious military buildup in one of the world's most remote and strategic regions? It's Russia. With an expansive Arctic strategy, Russia is transforming the icy frontier into a heavily fortified zone, establishing a presence far beyond just cold weather outposts and turning the Arctic into a hub of military power and technological advancement. In 2007, Russian divers planted a ceremonial flag on the seabed beneath the North Pole, asserting a claim to an area also contested by Canada and Denmark. At the time, the move was largely dismissed as a publicity stunt. However, in February 2023, a UN commission validated the data supporting Russia's claim. While this approval does not settle the issue of Arctic rights, it would potentially add 1.7 million square kilometers of seabed to Russia's territory. The area is believed to contain over 17.3 billion tons of oil and 85.1 trillion cubic meters of natural gas. If the US were to start today, experts estimate it would take at least a decade to match Russia's current military infrastructure in the region. This disparity leaves the West worried about Russia's growing influence and control over one of the world's last frontiers. With Russia already deploying air defense systems, advanced radar installations, and modernized icebreaker fleets, it is quickly establishing dominance over the Arctic. Russia's strategy for developing the Arctic involves significant investments, with more than $400 billion planned across multiple sectors in the coming decades. This includes $11 billion already spent on military infrastructure since 2014, an investment of over $100 billion by 2035 to transform the Northern Sea Route into a major shipping corridor, and nearly $300 billion allocated for oil, gas, and mineral exploration in resource-rich regions like the Yamal Peninsula. Furthermore, Russia plans to expand its icebreaker fleet, including nuclear-powered ships, at an estimated cost of up to $10 billion, underscoring the region's strategic economic and military importance to the country. The question arises, why is Russia so committed to building military bases in the Arctic? What drives this aggressive expansion in a region long associated with ice and isolation? On number 1, let's talk about the wealth of natural resources waiting to be claimed beneath the Arctic's icy surface. For Russia, the Arctic is not just a vast expanse of frozen wilderness. It represents an opportunity to tap into enormous reserves of untapped natural resources, particularly oil, gas, and minerals. Estimates suggest that the Arctic holds about 30% of the world's undiscovered natural gas and 13% of its undiscovered oil reserves. According to Russian authorities, the country's Arctic territories alone may contain as much as 90 billion barrels of oil. As the world's largest country, Russia already possesses vast energy resources. But the desire for energy security and economic expansion motivates the nation to pursue the Arctic's riches. Securing these resources is crucial for Russia's future. The country's economy heavily relies on energy exports, and having control over additional reserves strengthens its position in the global energy market. Next, we'll explore control of strategic shipping routes that are beginning to emerge as the Arctic ice melts. As the planet warms, previously inaccessible maritime paths are becoming navigable. Summer sea ice has declined at nearly 13% over the past 40 years, with the Arctic now heating up almost 4 times faster than the global average. Scientists project an Arctic free from summer ice by 2040 to 2045. One of the most significant developments is the Northern Sea Route, which runs along Russia's northern coast. This new shipping route can drastically reduce travel time for vessels traveling between Europe and Asia compared to the traditional Suez Canal route. This shorter path not only saves time but also reduces shipping costs, making it a highly desirable alternative for global trade. Russia's military bases along this route are a means to secure control over these emerging Arctic shipping lanes. By establishing a strong military presence, Russia can monitor the traffic, impose regulations, and potentially charge fees for the use of the Northern Sea Route. In doing so, Russia positions itself to benefit economically from the new trade opportunities that climate change is creating. For the United States and its allies, Russia's control over these strategic shipping lanes raises concerns about freedom of navigation and the potential for economic coercion in the Arctic. Number 3. When we look at geopolitical influence and national security, we see another factor driving Russia's Arctic ambitions: power and influence. The Arctic region is not governed by a single international treaty that determines ownership of its resources, which has led to overlapping territorial claims by several countries, including Russia, the United States, Canada, Denmark, and Norway. With Russia aggressively expanding its military infrastructure in the region, it signals its intention to protect and assert its claims over disputed areas. By strengthening its military capabilities in the Arctic, Russia enhances its ability to deter potential adversaries, including NATO countries. The presence of air defense systems, radar installations, and combat-ready troops sends a clear message to other nations. Russia is prepared to defend its interests in the Arctic. For Western countries, this growing military presence is seen as a threat to regional stability, potentially transforming the Arctic into a zone of military competition rather than peaceful cooperation. Let's not forget the matter of national security, where the Arctic serves as more than just a resource-rich territory or trade route. For Russia, the Arctic is also a strategic military area, especially in terms of defense against potential threats from North America. The region is home to Russia's Northern Fleet, which includes a significant portion of its nuclear-armed submarines. These submarines patrol under the Arctic ice, providing Russia with a critical component of its nuclear deterrent. Establishing military bases in the Arctic bolsters Russia's capacity to monitor and secure this strategic region. The Arctic's proximity to North America makes it a crucial area for missile defense systems and early warning radar installations, allowing Russia to detect and respond to any potential missile launches. This defensive posture is not only about securing territory, it's about maintaining a balance of power and ensuring that Russia remains a formidable global player. Point number 4 is climate change and Arctic sovereignty. Another aspect that requires attention is the ongoing changes brought about by climate change, which have made the Arctic a place of geopolitical competition. As the ice recedes, the region becomes more accessible, sparking interest from countries vying to extend their continental shelf claims under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Russia has been one of the most assertive in this area, submitting claims to extend its continental shelf well beyond its exclusive economic zone, even covering the underwater Lomonosov Ridge, which stretches toward the North Pole. Number 5. Military modernization and power projection. It's also important to recognize that Russia's Arctic military expansion is closely tied to its broader military modernization program. Over the past decade, Russia has invested heavily in upgrading its military equipment and infrastructure, with the Arctic being no exception. The construction of new bases, airstrips, and radar stations in the region is part of a comprehensive effort to enhance the capabilities of the Russian military to operate in extreme environments. Modernizing its Arctic military presence enables Russia to conduct various military operations more effectively, from search and rescue missions to anti-submarine warfare. The Arctic's harsh conditions present unique challenges, and having the right infrastructure and equipment is essential for maintaining an operational advantage. For Western powers, Russia's modernization efforts are seen as a move to project power and potentially challenge NATO's influence in the Arctic, raising concerns about the militarization of a region once considered beyond the reach of military conflict. Lastly, we must consider the political dimensions behind Russia's Arctic ambitions. The country's leadership views the Arctic as a key component of its national identity and a symbol of Russia's resurgence as a great power. The narrative surrounding Russia's Arctic expansion is often framed in patriotic terms, portraying the development of the region as a means of restoring Russia's rightful place on the world stage. By building military bases and expanding its Arctic footprint, Russia demonstrates its ability to achieve major strategic goals, despite international sanctions and economic challenges.
For President Vladimir Putin and the Russian government, the Arctic serves as a rallying point to galvanize national pride and demonstrate Russia's ability to exert its influence in contested regions. For the West, however, Russia's Arctic ambitions are viewed as part of a broader strategy to assert its power globally, challenging the existing international order and potentially setting the stage for a new era of great power rivalry. The Arctic may seem distant and detached from the world's centers of power, but its importance is growing rapidly. As the ice melts and new opportunities emerge, the region is transforming into a hotbed of strategic competition. Russia's military buildup in the Arctic is not just about protecting resources or securing trade routes. It's about establishing dominance in a region that is increasingly seen as the next frontier for geopolitical influence. So, while the West worries about Russia's expanding military presence and its implications for global stability, the real question remains: how will the world respond to the growing race for Arctic supremacy? And what will the future hold for this once frozen expanse now at the center of a new geopolitical chessboard?